Before you write that Revolutionary War story, do this. I have something to show you. Perplexity AI will uncover documents that you didn't even know existed from primary sources, and I have two quick examples to show you. But first, why does this even matter? Why do I need more primary sources? The context really matters. Not everyone who was alive during the revolution fought in the war or supported the war effort, and people lived in 13 distinct colonies that all had different ethnic groups and histories and backgrounds. So let's honor that and really respect the history. So doing this search will turn our ancestors into real people, and they won't just be dates on our family trees. It also is going to help explain the choices that they made, maybe why they supported the war or didn't, how they worked at the time, and what they believed in. And then it's going to even open the doors to new records and sources for our search. And who doesn't want more records and sources? Let's go over and meet Perplexity AI at the computer. So let's take a look at this prompt with Perplexity and break it down. First, I am going to tell Perplexity exactly what I want it to be doing here, which is researching someone who lived during the American Revolutionary War period. Now, Perplexity is a search engine, and typically we just ask it for information. So me giving it a focus is a little bit different, but that's okay. I'm asking for a very detailed research report. I want it to ask me for names, vital record information in terms of birth and death years, geographic information, ethnic background, any affiliation that this person had with a known country or ancestry or tribe, and also the role that they might have played in the revolution itself. And then any additional details that I have, occupation, family connections, military unit. And I'm asking it then to skip anything that is like a standard Wikipedia entry. I don't want typical, search results here. I want something more detailed. I'm then asking it to really focus on this geographical location because, as we know, during the colonial period, every single American colony was completely different. We also then are asking in this prompt for source priorities. So we wanted to look at local sources first, period newspapers, diaries, personal correspondences, military pension records and service files, church records, which we all know are so vital during the colonial period. Then we want to look at court documents, land records, tax records, and then any academic dissertations and specialized historical journals that might have been talking about the person that we're researching or the area that we're researching in, as well as oral histories and family genealogies. Again, we're emphasizing to skip the common sources such as Wikipedia, and we want to then ask Perplexity to output everything that it found in this very specific format. We want it to give us back the name, any other aliases or names that this person was known by, birth and death dates, specific locations that they lived in, anything about their ethnic background and ancestry, the family, and then getting into the geography, precise locations that they lived in, migration that they did, maybe any real regional context that we need to know, and then their Revolutionary War experience. And this again is whether they participated in the war itself or they were a bystander of some sort. We want that experience detailed. And then the unique findings that Perplexity found. So let's get into some examples using this prompt. So I've started again with this large prompt, which again, you can get in the link in the description. And I've gone through and given it a German man who I didn't know if he was involved in the war or not. And I was hoping Perplexity could help me figure it out. Are there some sources I can look at? So it's Godfrey Haga. He was born in 1747 in Germany and died in Philadelphia in 1825. Certainly the year period matches. He'd be a male that would be of the right age during the war. It finds Godfrey and gives me his history. He's apparently incredibly well known in Philadelphia, has major land holdings of over $350,000 at the time, which in today's money is multi-millions, and was actually actively involved with different religious groups. So it's probably not likely that he fought in the war, and in fact, Perplexity tells me there's no direct evidence that he was a soldier, a political figure, or a supporter during the war. So that tells me he was probably in this neutral category, trying to stay out of it. Now, there are some things here, because he was very involved in religious groups and had such large landholdings and was a merchant, that there are a lot of documents on him. So one of the sets of documents is actually the Harmony Society papers, which are at the Pennsylvania State Archives. That gives me a huge lead in terms of things to find out about him, as well as some details here for an auction of some of his private papers and deeds that happened in 2022. So it's fairly recent, but how exciting is that I could actually maybe find these by contacting the owner of these private papers? Amazing, right? I have a complete research summary as well as a research plan of finding unique historical resources. And if Perplexity makes an error, I can easily fix it. So here we are looking at, again, I inputted the same prompt, and this time I'm looking at John Dickinson. Now, John Dickinson, I just put, was a major figure in the American Revolution. Pay attention to your instructions and do your best. So I didn't even bother to tell it John Dickinson's birth and death dates, and etc. He was the signer of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. So we know a lot about John Dickinson, but I want Perplexity to surface up things that I don't normally know. So it goes again into the specifics about his life, covers all the major events in it, and then gives me some unusual findings and anecdotes. So he was an abolitionist long before it was popular later in the 1800s. He had freed his slaves and did it unconditionally. He was also known as being very humble and chose to serve among ordinary citizens. An effect like that is awesome to put in family history, right? It also refers to some of his personal correspondence in here and his overall political legacy. So this is fantastic and gives me actually the links to the primary sources that have been digitized on John Dickinson. If I was searching him, I might not have known about these because things are going online all the time. When Perplexity AI surfaces sources that even seasoned researchers can't find, we have the opportunity to really unlock our ancestors' lives. So be sure to grab today's prompt through the link in the description below. It links directly to my website where I post all these prompts every single week to help you with your genealogy research and your family history writing. And now it's time for me to get changed and go back to normal life. Undo. Undo. Guess I'm just dressing like this from now on, so yeah. Keep the stories alive. Happy July 4th.